Hi society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet, and today we are checking out some more Webtoon, Tower of God Webtoon. Clearly, I am not distraught at all. My brain is working perfectly fine. I'm not freaking out about Wangnan wanting to speak alone with Karaka because he saw that they have the same ring and there's a bunch of history there, and also Hockney was just like, hey, we're close to somebody who is like gonna die, so it's fine. Everything is completely fine, and I am serene. Yes, I remember. Oh yes, there was also like a threat of just destroying someone's head that we just shifted right past. We're like, I'm more interested in the fact that you have this ring. Please don't. I can't take any more stress with Team Sweet and Sour. Fine. Wangnan, I need you to calm down. I need us to not be having this conversation. I need us to not just, I know we're desperate and we're like, I'm just gonna say everything to convince you that I'm not trying to just buy time and I do actually want to talk to you about something. I understand the strategy. It's just stressing me out. Maybe we don't tell everything. Okay. Oh yeah, there was also like a door that just opened up that is leading there as well. I don't, look, I'm too stressed. Okay, there's lots of things happening. Yeah, it just happened. Not weird at all. Coincidence. All right. Where's Karaka and Wangnan then? Because I was like, don't they, if you can't force it open, did they go last time it was the right time for it to open? Or are we somewhere else? I was stressed about other things that my brain is like hyper focused on just screeching into the void because of Wangnan and Karaka like talking to each other about stuff. So I might have just missed critical pieces of information. It's fine. Yeah, let Kun have a nap or something. Because he's like, I would love to have a break. And then Bomb was like, about that. There might be some stuff. Are we on like a off-brand Pringles can now? Yeah, we have the mustache. Sorry, I just clicked in my brain that we're like, no, copyright. But like, you gotta have the mustache. I love how it's just like, how did they get all this food on the train? They're like, sometimes you get rewarded for it. Sometimes you get snacks. Don't worry about it. Yeah, maybe about the death omen? Oh, yeah, that too. Do we see something? Because I'm like, if anyone's gonna see stuff, it's gonna be Hockney. Of course, Lady Uri is like, snacks! And Sugar Rush is also. Is it associated with her? I feel like it has to do with the poison, right? Because she was supposed to be dying, and then now she has the shark thing. And I feel like, I don't know, it seems to be like feeding on something. Like, I'm Shinsu maybe? I'm assuming, because like usually that's how the magic system works. And I just feel like it's probably draining her. Also, this pose, what a diva. And it's like, what do we do? It's like, we're just guessing. We don't really know what's going on. Oh, Endorsi's on it. Endorsi has woken up and chosen violence in Rachel's direction, and I support her. I feel like it's a little hypocritical coming from Lady Yuri to be like, don't let your emotions get in the way. I'm like, Lady Yuri, you were like, for the lulz, let's just use 2 of the month series at once. Even though I've been warned repeatedly that it'll cause me to go insane, possibly go on a murderous rampage. I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, Endorsi's on it. I keep forgetting that you're also here. Like the amount that I'm like, oh no, Rachel's fan club. Such a shame. Because they have matching rings, and it's probably not terrible anyway. I love how White is just still out. He's having a moment. Hang on, I'm gonna need you to be... Yeah, okay, is that the moment? I like how this is like this big reveal, like he wasn't wearing the mask improperly and like looked exactly the same. Like what, you needed to see that he's got that one sharp tooth to figure out who it was? I could get it if he was covering his eyes, because a lot of people will only recognize someone by their eyes. That's why if you see someone with like sunglasses on, it could mess up your ability to recognize them, because we spend so much time looking at someone's eyes while we're talking to them or like identifying them. Like in our brains, the way that we map people's faces in our brains is like very much eye-centric. Like you could see his eye. Like what, this was required for us to recognize him? Master of disguise. I know it's a delicate line because like us as the audience have to be able to know that's Wangnan, right? Like we have to still be able to keep track of where he is, but it wasn't that difficult. You could even see his little horns. Like every identifiable feature was present. His hair, his eyes, the little like mark under his eye, his horns. Are the rings associated with the floor? The hidden one? Okay. Sorry, I'm just like, is this like the flower that we've already seen? I'm sorry, I'm locked in. We got backstory. I'm suspicious that we have not seen a face. That there may be some features that we know. I don't know, Wangnan. You've done some crazy things. I don't like that we're talking about, like, I thought of her as my real mother. Like, we're really honing in on that detail. And also, I thought she really loved me. Makes me feel like that's not what happened, which we've seen before with other people. Not that I will forever be salty about Oryang, but I will actually. Oh, Okay, maybe that's why past tense. Makes sense though, because he has this very strong reaction to not being able to like help people and save people, going all the way back to the beginning of season 2, which I will not go into detail about because I am still emotionally scarred about it, okay? But this like inability to save people, this inability to help them, everything with Team Sweet and Sour, which I'm also not going to talk about. It'll make me sad. All these moments in which Wangnan has like really fallen apart because he was unable to help people, because he was unable to save someone. Part of the reason that him and Bomb get along so well is like that need to be able to protect the people that they care about and to hold on to what they have, because they know what it feels like to lose everything or to feel like they've lost everything. And it explains why Wangnan would have such a strong reaction to something like that, because when you have to watch someone with an illness pass away because of it, it can feel very helpless, right? You feel very out of control to just have to sit there and watch someone get weaker, right? So it makes sense that he would have such an emotional reaction to people dying that he cares about, which generally you would anyway, but to have that extra layer of like powerlessness, and it compounds on itself, right? The trauma itself is bad, but then you add it on to previous experiences of also feeling powerless to save someone or to help someone, and it becomes worse and worse. Also, the outcast side of things, of when you're someone who people see as other and then they don't help you, right? Which again is something that Team Sweet and Sour, all like in general, the fact that all of those people were on the same team or like helping each other out is because no one else regarded them as like worth anything. No one else looked at them and thought that they were worth caring about or teaming up with. I don't like the wording of that, but okay. Yeah, I was like, I feel like the fact that we were like, I thought she loved me, I'm like, ooh, you don't say that when you actually believe someone cares about you. Also makes sense why he might have been like, hey, once he knew something about Bomb's past and like the Rachel of it all. Could also be why he's like, get where you're coming from, of when you have this one person that you think actually cares about you and supports you and gives you something to hope for, right, despite the circumstances, and then you find out that person never cared about you at all. Got some experience with that. Yeah, because we kept saying I thought of her as my mother, and then to be like, she never saw that relationship in the same way. Like the fact that we're not seeing you either is because there's some critical information. Whomst are you? Sorry, it clicked in my brain because I was like, who is this? I know we were talking about like Prince, right? Wangnan, Prince, ring, symbol of Jahad, king imagery. Didn't when we saw the young version of Jahad, wasn't he also blonde? And I know that's not exclusive to one group of characters, but now I'm thinking there might actually be more to this than just like the princesses, right? And it's freaking me out a little bit, and I'm just gonna keep moving. We've got a little bit of anger going on. Yeah, we got the whole key thing going on. Oh, there's so much. I'm not breathing properly. I'm like, I feel like I'm more locked in and less like chatty than I normally am, because I'm just like, I need to know what happens. You also, I pointed out before, you also have the yellow eyes. Is that an aesthetic choice for the robot of it all, or is there something to that? Because again, we got like Prince, brother, but like, what is the translation? And also, again, the princesses are not like blood related, but I'm starting to get anxious. That seems like a liability problem. Not the point of this whole thing. I'm just dissociating because I'm stressed. Yeah, we have to confirm it. Did we get the same information of if someone says they have the ring, confirm it? Okay. Again, speaking of blondes. Right, so we don't have proof. Yeah, I feel like this is not going to be a good way to be like, hey, don't kill my friend. Because we were like, hey, I need to tell you all of this stuff because I have one of these rings, and actually, but I can't show it to you right now. Okay, distraction. Y'all have places to be that is not trying to kill each other. Maybe. Hopefully. I don't know if I would have called it cool in like a puzzle game. I feel like I'm just nervous about anything where I'm like the floor moves. Seems like a bad time in general. I feel like just being like, believe me, is not gonna work. Why should he? Not that I want to be on Karaka's side or anything. You can just say, hey, I have the same ring as you. What if Rachel shows up? She's like, hey, I have the ring. Tell me everything. Oh gosh, don't rip his heart out. Okay. I'm so stressed. Okay. Breath. Who do I think it was? I don't know. We couldn't see her face properly, but like, I feel like wasn't the flower? It reminded me of when we first met. Gosh, my brain. I'm so stressed that my brain is just, we don't need that information. Gosh, we literally just did a whole story with him. Backwards cap. I hate me. But it reminds me of that, where we were like, inside, I was gonna say giant marine creature, like that narrows it down, but you know what I mean. Of course, we're just interrupting this whole thing right before the information. Of course, there's Lady Yuri too, who's like, hey, rematch. Also awkward. We don't have our grand disguise on anymore, so people will know who we are. Yeah, sure, that's what she did. She thought about you at least once. Definitely. I love all the like, hey, what's happening? Also cute that like the first person were like, missing. Oh, it's so complicated. Udik. God, I remembered. Whew, that was gonna work in my brain until I remembered. Udik. It reminds me of the flower from when we first met him. I don't know what that means. I feel like the only mysterious people we haven't been fully introduced to beyond vague stories is Bomb's parents? Again, I don't know how much of a familial connection there was, but I only feel like that because maybe like the hair color? I don't know. Because his like dad, and again, I don't know, again, the actual like familial ties because he's also like with the 25th bomb, and so that makes me feel like there's a bunch of other stuff going on, but apparently he's real bad news. Like people are like, hey, he's super terrifying, like one of the most terrifying people we've ever met by some pretty scary people. That's where my brain is. I'm like all of the conspiracy theory like red string connections. I have no idea if any of that is correct. I'm just putting stuff out there because otherwise y'all won't know what I'm thinking. I have to externalize it. No, that's fine. I feel like don't pick a fight with Lady Yuri. Generally, it seems to end poorly for everyone involved. Except her. Especially Evan. He is so put out all the time. It's a cool way of tracking that motion, though. Good job. Going for the rescue. I don't like that you seem to be appearing out of nowhere. Of course you did. You got that whole, like, leverage thing going on. Now we know where the ring is, though. We have Rachel here. Can we get the ring now? I know it's not at the top of our priority of, like, everyone being like, all right, let's fight, but we put the mask back on, so we're back to being disguised. Can we just get the ring back? You can push Rachel over. Oh, she's got the shark thing, though. See, there's so many layers. No, I think he knows Kun. I think he's aware that there's stuff going on. He can see that Karaka's right there. That's a cool shot, though. That's pretty. Terrifying, but pretty. Yeah, don't we have some powers to deal with, like, black holes or whatever, though? We've leveled up quite a bit. Oh, and also we have a key, and you have a key because of the ring, and also the door. There's what I mean? There's so many things. I'm like, what are you reacting to and why? Fair enough. Again, white, not involved. Taking a rest. Oh no, that's fine. My boy! Oh my gosh, I need them to be together. I need it to be our trio. Now my heart is beating faster for different reasons. Oh my gosh, my sweet boy. I missed you so much. And then I need you to be okay. I need this to not turn out poorly for you because I will be distraught forever. Like, I need you to understand that if anything happens to Rock at any point in this story, no, it didn't. And he's fine. I will never get over it. I will not recover. I will be sad forever. And then I'll just live firmly in denial. Like, as far as I'm concerned, he's living on a nice island somewhere where he can hunt turtles to his heart's content, right? Like that'll be my canon regardless of what happens in this story. Yep. I'm assuming that's what's going on. I'm worried about doors and gates and stuff, though, because I've been also emotionally scarred by Fullmetal Alchemist. It's fine. For a second, I thought I was, like, whizzing through these chapters, and I don't think I am. I think I'm just locked in. This doesn't feel like it's taking me an eternity because you're not giving me enough information. There's too much happening. Deep breath, everyone. Oh, yeah. It's just, like, a whole other person that we just haven't spent any time with. Sorry, I just registered this. I'm like, isn't there the guy, the other one? There's so many characters in this series. Okay. It's fine. My head is starting to hurt a little bit. The key. I was gonna say, I like that it has wings on it, and then I'm just like, wings also makes me think of Udik. Though they're clearly different style, but he was being all ominous last time we saw him. He's like, we'll meet again. Which doesn't seem like it's gonna be good. Yeah, more pressing things than us trying to kill each other. Also, last time we had a giant door like this, we ended up in the tower. So that might also be some of my stress. I'm like, last time we did this, we ended up in a battle royale style fight of being like, only the fittest get to keep going. I feel like for all of me being like, here are my favorite characters, we have to remember that like everyone who made it into season 1 killed a lot of people first. You know what I mean? A lot of people died immediately. And we never really got like a firm answer on who did what. We just ended up in the field. So some of my stress might be, I've been here before and it didn't end well. It ended better than it could have, but it didn't end well. I do like pretty lights, though. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's not stressful. Cool. Just the Kirby treatment. It feels a little bit Team Rocket as well, just like the vibes. See, he's got the little light glint of like, ding. It also looks a bit like a traffic light. Am I distracting myself because it makes me feel bitter? Yes. Did it always have the circle things? Was I just distracted by the lights? Okay. They're just difficult to see with all the, like, omission layer stuff we're doing. All right, fine. I do think it's probably a little bit symbolic that we have the light. I know it's partly because that's, like, the center of the door, but it makes me feel like descending through, like, layers of reality or worlds or whatever, right? Like, you have the tower, right? Hell train, hidden floor. Am I reading too much into that? Probably. But that at least is, I think, is a cool thing to put into it. And I am distracting myself a bit because everything stresses me out and it's totally fine. And we're in it now. We're doing this. That stresses me out too. You think I'm not gonna notice? I did notice. Okay, it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. You better not be separated from the group again. I swear to God. Literally every time I'm like, okay, I have my bearings again. The story is stressing me out. Bomb, for God's sake, stick with the group. We've done this. We've done this 1,000 times. Please stick with the group. It never ends well when you are not with the group. Don't split up. There be monsters. Floating in the cosmos. Do you have to make an avatar? Like, what's happening? Oh, no, that's fine. Are you a guardian? I was thinking a little bit of, like, administrator because, again, speaking of season 1, when there was the giant creature that we had to make a deal with, also feels a little bit like us randomly ending up in a void. Oh, there's multiple. Yeah, that's fine. I'm beyond being stressed out anymore. Whatever, man. Is it bad that they're cute, though? Oh, so y'all got to be together. Bomb, I swear. Stick with the group. Stick with the group. Buddy system. Somebody has to be like, we need one of those like little like tie thing. I know that this is like controversial for like kids, the little like harness thing. I know controversial, but Bob keeps wandering off. Okay, we need something to tie him to someone so that he can't be separated. I don't know what the solution is. Can like Hockney just lasso him? I don't know what we're supposed to do, but he needs to be with somebody. And I don't mean all of the souls trapped inside of him. They do look like toys. Oh God, are we gonna be in like a weird Toyland thing? Because I don't know if I can take my blood pressure. I don't think will survive. Oh no, we lost Rachel. That's a shame. Oh, somebody help him. I'm worried that you feel nauseous because you seem to get vibes from places. She's trying a thing. That's what she's doing. Oh no, I should have worn any of my Dragon Ball stuff. The one time, there's so many moments where I'm reading this and I'm wearing Goku stuff, but not today. It's too hot, guys. It's the time of year where my country is on fire. And there's a lot happening. I need you to not be putting out bad vibes, Coon, okay? No one's gonna get anywhere with that kind of attitude. Also, you didn't lose everybody. Hockney's there. Oh dear, like the immediate chaos. Yeah, I was like, I didn't think it was gonna work, but at least she's trying something. She's trying to problem solve. I'm assuming you're with Rachel. You probably want to be with Rachel. Is someone in the suitcase? Yeah, okay, no, you're with Rachel. I do, unfortunately, understand the hands of a betrayer. Everything is going on. I also feel like none of the rules are gonna work the way that they're supposed to, and that is like a whole other thing that I'm like, also, is Wangnan not with you guys? Is he with Karaka? Where is Misang? I'm so stressed all of the time. Where's Bodo? Oh my goodness. Oh no, he's gonna be so stressed. Did we also end up going through the door? Because he was like, I don't know about this. I mean, you did ask though. The question is right there. Sorry about that. My tech freaked out a little bit. It's very hot, and also there are wildfires, but we're back at it, okay? Nothing happened. It's all fine. What is the voice? Oh, you're just a talking scale? That's fine. Okay, sure. Oh, you can spawn in front of multiple people then. Scale of the past. Cool. This is giving in Egyptian mythology, and I feel like if an alligator starts eating people, that's gonna be something that I'm worried about. Not our alligator, though he is near water. Anyway, sorry, focus. Thrown off track. I don't know how I feel about this. On the one hand, I want to be given backstory, right? Like, I want to see what is up with some of the characters that we don't know a lot about. On the other side of things, I don't want to go through trauma. I'm already on the edge. I don't know if Kun specifically wants to be reminded of his past. There's some things that he's like deliberately ignoring. I'd be running too if there was a giant sentient gale of justice in front of me. It is really cool that it has the mirror, that it is like a reflection, and like the scales being like, you'll be like weighed based on your past actions and you can't change them, right? Because they've already happened. That's just what the past is. Just explain the question of like what happened. I'm not gonna ask. Being like, of course you want to know what's going on in somebody's past. That's your job. Haku-kun's just, this is too much for me. I have places to be. What are we like measuring against? Is it just like of the two people? Please tell Rachel she's nothing. Send her somewhere dumb. Thanks. We're not gonna find anything out. I love the reminder of they don't have any memory. Yes, I know. You wanted to know some stuff about your past. You wanted to know about like where you were born. Again, am I curious? Absolutely. Am I ready for the trauma? No. What does the King's Cradle mean? Other than the game, right? Isn't that what the thing with the string? I don't know. I never participated. Yeah, can we measure him? He's got some souls in him. Oh, that's not what I was like. I was expecting there are too many souls for me to measure the past of. Also, there's that. There's the it's complicated thing. I need you to stop being separated from the group entirely. What does that mean? Okay, like I know what under quarantine means. Unfortunately, I live in a post-2020 world. However, what does that mean in this particular context? I love it. Okay, I feel like I shouldn't be finding a giant mirror with a scale humorous, but I do. I need you to be careful with him, though. Thank you. Very careful with him. Also, I feel like the hidden floor needs to understand that they can just let people travel places of their own free will. Like between the door being like, you are within range, therefore you must go through the door. And now this, you can just ask. Look who showed up. Did it work? Did we figure out how to make it work? To find him? Are y'all gonna be quarantined together? Because I feel like that's gonna be real bad for... I just feel like Endorsi being put into quarantine is not gonna end well. Like, I think she doesn't do well with being told what to do and trapped. Girl, we're gonna end up quarantined together. Her little, like, I do appreciate that Endorsi has some, like, goblin energy. It makes me happy as someone who also has goblin energy on a regular basis. I just like collecting trinkets and shiny things, and if you don't feed me regularly, I will start to destroy things, so that's probably fine. Prologue? It's fine. Yeah, and I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's not going to cause us any problems whatsoever. Not the workshop. I should have known. I should have known that this strange contraption, this strange item could have only come from one place, and now I'm even more suspicious. I don't want anything from the workshop. Get it out of my sight. It does make sense, though, if it's, like, mirror of the past. It's like you are, like, this past version of you is being, like, kept in the mirror, which I also think is really interesting. I don't know what the mythology around mirrors is like in Korea, but I know that, like, from where I'm from, mirrors are thought to, like, capture souls in a way, right? It's why you get the vampire stories where, like, vampires don't have a reflection because they don't have a soul. Or you'll get a lot of ghost stories that have, like, souls stuck in mirrors or, like, reflective surfaces, is because there's all this, like, superstition around it. So it is interesting to me to have this, like, after image imprinted into this mirror. Again, I don't know how that translates to like other cultures and stuff, but I do think it's very interesting. Also, you're giving like hollow, and that makes me anxious. Thank you. I'm sure you were delighted. Okay. Oh, so there's more. There are other people who we're also gonna have to deal with. Love that. Great. Absolutely. Why not? Why not have other people who were also around Jahad at the time that we're also gonna have to deal with? Name drop. Almost. I do think it's interesting that we have became something like a god of the tower. I don't know what translation is, but that implies that we aren't actually the god of the tower, that there is one, and it is not Jahad, which I wouldn't be surprised with this series. Goodness gracious. How many times have I been like, so this is the worst of it? And then I remember there are like hundreds more chapters. I'm like, this can't be the worst of it. It's gotta get worse. Like, there's no way that this is the last point. It is interesting to became a king, which is not a god. Again, that also makes me very nervous because I'm like, they're like, where will you end up? Which world are you gonna be in? And also, how many people? Like, because the train is a lot, right? The hell train is a lot to deal with. So it's not going to be like pushovers that have cleared the train and ended up looking in this mirror. And they're all saved in this. They're all there, right? That we could potentially run into. And I don't know who. And that makes me just be like, I want to curl up in a ball and pretend that everything is completely and totally fine. I don't like being compared to, that they're being compared to a, like, being in a flask. I was gonna say, does that mean that there's like a version of Sachi in this, but don't they get erased if they look in the mirror again? Wasn't that part of the lore? There's always two keys. Cool. Yeah, fine. I love that this is something he finds amusing. I love that it's just like a little game to him. That doesn't make me anxious at all. Y'all better go. You better get one of your turtles. I swear. I love my boy so much. Oh, I'm so happy he's gonna be in the story. Let's go! Oh, I was like, it has to be Kun. If Kun and Rock do not end up together, finally, being able to do stuff, I'm gonna be so upset. Fair. Valid. I would also just be like, what? Following through this guy. Also, wasn't Hockney like already like, I feel nauseous? I love it. He's like, my turtle. Yeah, if we keep falling, it'll be bad. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's also that going on. It's cool. Rock is here. If anyone can help us, I say right before that, Rock, this is your moment. Boy, this is your moment. It's fine. Just gotta go hunting. That's his turtle. So no time to think, no time to question. I gotta go. Look at him. What a hero. A little bit late, but still. Yeah, you just gotta go full Jonah and the whale, okay? I don't know if we call it brave, but he is very like, I think, like territorial in some way. He's like, that's my turtle. That's Blue Turtle. I already called dibs, okay? You can't just take the prey that I have already decided to hunt, okay? That's not allowed. I don't know why we're getting like a commentary. I know how Rock works. I love all that drama. And then just, it's fine. Like I said, he's gonna figure y'all better not end up in like a different world, okay? Sometimes there are other worlds inside of the creatures, so that better not be what's about to happen. What did I just say? It's fine. I fear I may know too much about this series now. You think I would realize that considering how many hundreds of chapters I've read, but I fear I may know the mechanics a little too well. Just the casual, ouch, boy, you got eaten. Which I guess, again, not the first time we've ended up inside of some aquatic creature and it's just like a Tuesday. This is surviving. Again, not the weirdest thing. Have no fear. Wrathraiser is here. Look at him though. I feel like you're like a few seconds away from a hug, which out of chibi form might not go well for you. But I do want another hug. His hugs are the sweetest. I do love that every time it doesn't want to pinpoint the like specific location in relation to everything else. We're not gonna get a map. At least not at this point. Sometimes we do. It's just somewhere in that area. Don't worry about it. All right. Quarantine. I don't like that. That makes me uncomfortable. Quarantine, cool. Are we good? Yeah, are we good? Oh, I thought quarantine was like, you have to stay here for a while until we figure out how dangerous you are. I didn't know it was a like exterminate moment. I'm gonna need y'all to wake up very quickly. Where did we end up? Did somebody get us? Because I'm like, that's not like Endorsi's power, like the bong bong. Wait, whomst are you? Okay. Yeah, I was like, that's gonna be the end of the chapter, because like, why wouldn't it be the end of the chapter? I don't know how I feel. I was like, the little like over this list, I was like, it could be, but no. Also, it could be anyone else. That doesn't give me enough information. That does though. I know, yeah. Have you been here this whole time? Is this like where you've been off to? I was just thinking about you. I'm so stressed. It's fine, whatever. Hansung is here. That's fine. That doesn't, I don't know how to feel about that. Because on the one hand, I'm like, is it actually them? I guess yes, because they know who Bomb is. So I'm like, it couldn't be like a past version. Unless it is after season 1, but before, I don't know. I'm assuming it's just, we're also here. But it fried my brain a little bit. I'm not stressed at all. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I feel like a lot of this was like, on the one hand, it stressed me out about a bunch of things, but on the other, it was really just like getting us to this point. Like the fact that we had this whole like prologue thing that was like, hey, here's how the hidden floor ended up happening, to get some lore to be like, this is what's going on, is really just us trying to set up like, what is the hidden floor? What are some of the mechanics? Why are people ending up in certain places? Also, is Hansung there because like you can get to quarantine just by traveling, or are you there because you are also quarantined because you're too dangerous to be here? Anyway, just to add to my own stress, there's so many different dynamics being set up, right? Like I feel like going on to the Hell Train, a lot of the, and even Floor of Death, right, was like all of these different motivations for like why people were going to the Floor of Death. They all had different things that they were looking for and that they were interested in. But I feel like this, there's so many other layers to it, because it isn't just people have different motivations. It's also like some of them are only going because other people are going. So it's not actually about the hidden floor. It's about like the people there that they're trying to like keep an eye on or get something from. Some of them, like Wangnan was just like around Karaka, and he was like, I didn't really have a choice in whether or not I ended up here. I just want information, and I need to get to Rachel because Rachel has my ring, and I can't prove anything and get information if I don't have my ring, and Rachel's going because Bomb is going, because there are so many different dynamics of like how do these characters interconnect with each other that isn't like we're one team that might have some different motivations for why we're going somewhere. Like Floor of Death, it felt like a collective effort of, yeah, we have different things that we want, but we are a team and we're going to work together so that everybody ends up getting like what they're looking for. And then we had like other people who were also going there, right? But they were their own separate kind of grouping as opposed to like Bomb and his group. Whereas like this is like, hey, we have a bunch of people who aren't necessarily loyal to everybody and aren't really working as a collective team. We were all just in the same place when the door opened. And there's all the other entities like on this floor that I think are going to add another dynamic into what challenges we're facing. And can we team up with anybody here? Can you trust someone who is powerful enough to clear the train and actually be able to make some kind of alliance with them? Would you know whether or not to trust them? Who is even going to be there, right? There are so many different layers, and like how do the rules even work, because it's not like a regular floor, right? So what are even the restraints and how do the like basic mechanics work? So I feel like a lot of these chapters was just like, we need to kind of set up all of these different threads of like these characters and what different elements are in play before we get to the actual floor, because those are going to be the things that like dictate how characters interact with each other and what motivates them and why they're making decisions once we get to the hidden floor. I'm so stressed. The almost getting eliminated at the quarantine, and then like the being eaten, and when I was just about to get a proper reunion, and everything with Rachel and all of the powerful people that are here, and also Wangnan and Karaka is like a whole thing, and I'm very stressed out, and I don't love it, and I need Bomb to stop getting separated from the group. I know that Endorsi like showed up, but I need him to take some initiative to be like, I somehow always end up by myself. Maybe we put some kind of safeguard in. I don't know, but I hope you enjoyed reading that along with me. You can click this playlist to go to my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to me next time I post a Tower of God video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.